Okay.
This next segment, we're talking about fraud, and I'm really thrilled to have Sergeant Michael Warren here from Metro Police, from the Nashville Metro Police Department, to talk about maybe the most common threats against people when it comes to fraud in our bustling, growing city. Tell me about what you're seeing the most of in terms of fraud.
Well, identity theft happens every 30 seconds.
Every 30 seconds?
Every 30 seconds. 2 a minute is what they say is the average rate.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and that can include your credit card. It can include your identity, social security number. It can include when you're trying to rent real estate and you fill out contracts and things like that that you mail. All those things are avenues for the bad guys to take over your identity. So twice a minute.
Twice a minute.
Mm-hmm.
How do we protect ourselves? I know one thing I've heard numerous news reports concerning people using their credit cards at gas pumps.
Yeah.
And then people come along and put a device in to capture that information.
The threat at a gas pump obviously is a skimmer. And so what people don't understand a lot of times there's a difference between a gas pump skimmer and an ATM skimmer. And so a lot of people think that they work off the same methods, and they don't. An ATM skimmer is a device that's attached to the outside of the ATM, whereas a gas pump skimmer is actually attached inside the gas pump. So you and I as a customer have no idea.
You would never know.
No idea. And it's open, they actually open the gas pump door and they attach the device inside to the motherboard. They actually interrupt the circuitry and run it that way. So totally, and that's the reason we encourage people all the time to look for the seals on the gas pump. Have you ever noticed a seal on the gas pump?
No.
It's a sticker. So if you look opposite the hinge on the gas pump door, you'll normally see a sticker that the gas station is placed there. And if it's been disturbed, then it's saying, hey, this gas pump's been opened. And that's the #1 indicator. If you use a gas pump, you should always be looking for a sticker.
All right, I also thought use the pump closest to the attendant.
Absolutely.
But you don't know if they're on their phone or if they're paying attention either.
I highly recommend places that are 24 hours if you're going to get gas, because it gives a less window of opportunity for the bad guys to install a skimmer. It's not foolproof, but it lessens the likelihood that a skimmer's been attached to a gas pump there.
What about credit card fraud? You said that is the most common fraud that you investigate here.
Absolutely. We get over normally about 80 reports a week of credit card fraud. Yeah. And so many people think that, well, as long as I'm safe, and that's not the case. You know, a server can take a picture of your credit card. Of course, it can be skimmed at a gas pump or an ATM. You could enter it into the wrong website. You think you're on a legitimate website, you're actually on a phishing website. There's just so many different ways. We had a business in Nashville that actually had their machine taken over one night, and it shut down because it ran over 30,000 manual credit card entries. And what they did is they had actually compromised the system, was just running random numbers.
Was this a restaurant or
it was actually just a small business here in Nashville.
Small business. So what do people do to protect themselves? I mean, obviously look at your statements regularly, check.
Absolutely. Well, this day and age, if you have a smartphone and your bank offers online banking, I bank with Bank of America, and they offer alerts, and so does my credit card. I have my threshold set up at 1 cent. I want to know anytime a transaction goes through. And that way, if I do see something that's illegitimate, I can immediately make the phone call and get it shut down.
Address it immediately.
Absolutely. Another thing I highly recommend is that people take a picture of the back of their credit card, just in case the card becomes lost or stolen.
Of course.
Those minutes are critical. So if you're out at a restaurant or whatever, and you realize when you got home that your card's missing, now you got to go trying to find a bank statement or get online and try to find what their customer service line is. That's on the back of your card. And that's the most direct line, because guess what? They want you to call too, because their money's on the line.
Sure.
And a lot of people, if you lose the card, you've lost your contact information. So I encourage people to take a picture of that, have that somewhere else other than just the back of the card, because those minutes are precious in preventing damages.
Great advice. Any scams related to health care?
So the only thing we've really seen in the healthcare is where people are impersonated, and they get a bill after the fact that says that they attended an ER, and they're like, I've not even been to an ER. But we haven't seen anything like other than that. It's just someone goes in and uses their information, and sometimes that can just be poor vetting protocol at the hospital, or it could be that the person has a lot of your information, was able to go in there and act like they're you.
What about embezzlement cases?
Sure.
You see a lot of those.
Absolutely. Every day. Embezzlement could be an employee who steals $10, and it could be a 30-year employee who's the bookkeeper who stole $1 million. And we've seen them all, honestly. And we probably get 5 or 6 of those a week. Some of those are misdemeanors that we can, refer them straight to the district attorney, and some of them require months and months of investigation.
What types of cases lead to criminal charges versus a civil matter?
Okay, to make it as simple as possible is if we can articulate theft. And so what it requires to meet the statute of theft is that someone intentionally deprived you of ownership. And so we see a lot where someone pays to have repairs done on their home, and they come out and they do half of the job, and they don't show up again, and they call our office and they want us to prosecute them. Unfortunately, that's going to be a breach of contract, because that's just someone who didn't fulfill the contract. There's no way we can articulate that their intent was to steal your money. Now, did they run off with your money? Absolutely, but that's a civil matter. Now, they agreed to put a roof on your house and never show up. Now that's something we can articulate, that their intent was to never put a roof on your home. They were just there to take your money. And those are incidents that we can actually pursue criminally.
In our last few seconds, where can I get more information? Where can folks watching get more information about protecting themselves?
Sure. So ftc.gov is a really good resource.
ftc.gov, okay.
And identitytheft.gov is a really good resource. And of course, we also have police.nashville.gov, and there is a fraud link on there. And of course, call our office if you have any questions. We're at 615-862-7594.
All right, Sergeant Warren, thank you so very much. Really appreciate good advice and great tips for us.
Thanks.
And thank you for watching Community Health Matters. Learn more ways to improve your health on our website, mycommunityhealthmatters.org. And remember, here in Middle Tennessee, our community health matters.